Studios, and this is my podcast, What Makes You Smarter. It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you can have me at your next event. I think the people are finding out about DJLittleRock.com and yours truly, Keys Dan, because I'm getting lots and lots of events booked up, especially weddings. Oh, yes, the weddings are coming back, baby. I enjoy weddings and spending time. You get to meet families and spend time with people from 6 to 60 and even, all over the spectrum, from old to young, just families. And I get to the observer in me wants to learn more about people, which is why I started my podcast, What Makes You Famous, getting to interview people. Use the hashtag What Makes You Famous, and you can find out more about that. But man, learning about people, seeing people, watching people, and enjoying them on their best days, on their special occasions, not just weddings, but, like birthday parties and anniversaries and stuff. Whenever people are celebrating, I get to be a part of that, and I get that energy from them. So, yeah, that makes me feel good. Yeah, thank you. So if I could take that little bit from your day, give me that good energy, that good flow, I appreciate that. Did a wedding last night at Meadows on the Mountain. It was so nice. That facility is wonderful. Meadow on the Mountain in Atkins, Arkansas. Great people. Carla is the owner there, and she was fantastic. Just running around, making sure that everything was running just exactly the way it needed to be. The caterer knew where they needed to be. The other staff, the videographer, the photographer, the DJ, the flowers. Everything was just so perfect for a wedding, and the weather was great too, so that wasn't bad. But they had the ceremony was outside, so I set up a little system outside so they can have their wireless mic and some music, and then I had the big system already set up inside, and we had such a good time. What I do is I give them the planning form and the music request ahead of time, so whenever at the end of the night they'll say, "Wow, you played the perfect music." Yeah, you picked it. It's making my job just that much easier. I don't have to guess what kind of music you want to hear, because you get to pick what kind of music you hear. It's all online, and it's pretty easy to do. So, yeah, that's making the event so much better. I enjoy that. Well, as I'm recording this on a Sunday, let's see, this week's shows, I'll be at the Cedar Lounge. It'll be my second time at the Cedar Lounge. I had an event last Thursday just to kind of feel things out. They wanted to check out how karaoke would do there. So they said, yeah, come on back next Thursday. Let's do it. 6 to 10, Cedar Lounge, Morrilton, Arkansas. Video dance party, karaoke jam. They got the drinks. They got the food. And, we're out there on the party patio. Now, I'm sure, well, I don't know. He wants me every Thursday, but as it gets cooler, they said something about either having heaters outside, which would be great, or just moving me inside. They got a nice big facility there, so capacity can be good even during this time of coronavirus, this COVID-19 thing that we have to kind of socially distance. But, we're wearing masks and we're taking care of each other. So it was such a good time. So this next Thursday, I'll be back in Morrilton at the Cedar Lounge Bar and Grill. And the outside is 21 and over. The inside is family friendly. So if you want to have some dinner over there, that's fine. But for the karaoke part where we're outside, it's 21 and over. So party with the big kids. Then on Friday night, I'm at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Yeah. It's my regular Friday night gig, the video dance party karaoke jam. They got a full bar, the kitchen's open, pool tables. They got a pool tournament on Friday nights. So if you want to try to make some money on a Friday night, I encourage you to check out the Rab, Conway, Arkansas, 8 p.m. until 1 a.m. And that's most Friday nights. The Cedar Lounge, brand new. Hopefully it keeps going. That's seems like it's going to be good. And then the Rab Friday nights. And then Saturday, the aforementioned. I have a wedding. I'm so stoked. It's up in Quitman. Not too far away from where I'm at in Conway, Arkansas. So I'm kind of excited about that. You know, it's good times. It's good times. It makes me feel good. And then, of course, throughout the beginning of the week, I'll be doing podcasting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yay, podcast. Getting to talk to people on the What Makes You Famous podcast. If you want to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I encourage you to check it out. Hashtag What Makes You Famous. Now, on with the show. Today on the program, 10 things you need to know today for Sunday, October 4th, 2020. 10 things you need to know today. Number 1, Trump said to have concerning symptoms as doctors shares optimistic outlook. Speaking from outside Walter Reed Hospital, where the president was transferred a day earlier after being diagnosed with COVID-19, Conley said Trump is fever-free, has normal cardiac, liver, and kidney levels, is not requiring supplemental oxygen, and is in, quote, exceptionally good spirits, end quote. On Saturday evening, Connolly said he's, quote, extremely happy, end quote, with Trump's progress, although he's, quote, not yet out of the woods, end quote. But White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows cast the president's illness in a very different light shortly after the doctor initially spoke Saturday. Meadows told reporters on Saturday afternoon that the president's vital signs over the past 24 hours were, quote, very concerning, end quote, and the next 48 hours would be critical. In a Fox News interview Saturday evening, Meadows confirmed that Trump's blood oxygen levels had dropped, quote, rapidly, end quote, on Friday, prompting doctors to administer supplemental oxygen while he was still at the White House. But he also expressed optimism about Trump's condition going forward. This is according to the Associated Press and the New York Times. Number 2, Trump sends video message from Walter Reed thanking medical staff well-wishers. President Trump posted a video to his Twitter account Saturday evening from his suite at Walter Reed Hospital in Bethesda, Maryland, where he's being treated for coronavirus. Trump began by thanking the, quote, incredible, end quote, medical team attending him. And he also expressed gratitude for the responses he's received from the American people and world leaders. The president noted that First Lady Melania Trump, who also contracted the virus, is, quote, handling it very nicely, end quote. He did acknowledge, however, that when he first arrived at Walter Reed on Friday, he, quote, wasn't feeling so well, end quote, seemingly backing up reports that his condition was concerning. But he added that he was feeling better at the time of the video. Still, he said, quote, over the next few days, we're going to probably know for sure, end quote, how he is responding to treatment. This is according to President Donald Trump. Number 3, Biden campaign to disclose results of every coronavirus test he takes. Former Vice President Joe Biden, the Democratic presidential nominee, will disclose the result of every coronavirus test he takes going forward, his campaign said Saturday. The announcement comes in a light of President Trump's positive COVID-19 test, which occurred just 2 days after the candidates faced off in a presidential debate last week. Biden subsequently tested negative for the virus on Friday, but he told reporters he would take another test Sunday. It's unclear exactly how often Biden will be tested, but a campaign spokesman said it would happen, quote, regularly, end quote. The former vice president still plans to forge ahead with in-person campaigning during the final month before Election Day. This is according to CNN and the Washington Post. Number 4, Christie Johnson among recent positive coronavirus tests. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, Republican, announced Saturday he has tested positive for COVID-19. Christie said he later checked himself into a hospital as a precautionary measure because of his asthma history. He is reportedly experiencing mild symptoms. Christie helped Trump prepare for the presidential debate and attended Judge Amy Coney Barrett's Supreme Court nomination ceremony at the White House. Meanwhile, Senator Ron Johnson, Republican Wisconsin, on Saturday became the third GOP senator to announce this week that he had contracted the virus, following Senators Tom Tillis, Republican North Carolina, and Mike Lee, Republican Utah. His office said he is not experiencing symptoms. White House aide Nicholas Luna, an assistant to Trump, who is often in close proximity to the president, has also tested positive. This is according to Fox News and CNN. Number 5, Azerbaijan accuses Armenian forces of shelling second largest city. Azerbaijan said Sunday that Armenian forces are shelled its second largest city, Ganja, and that one civilian was killed, marking an escalation in the conflict over the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region, which is internationally recognized as part of Azerbaijan, but mostly is run by a breakaway ethnically Armenian government. Armenia denied attacking Ganja, although Ariak Harutyunyan, the leader of the Nagorno-Karabakh, said his forces destroyed an airbase in the city. Armenia said 2 cities in the Nagorno-Karabakh, including the capital Stepanakert, were under attack by Azerbaijan air forces and long-range missiles. The conflict over the region has sparked fighting intermittently over the last few decades, but the current fighting appears to be the most violent since 2016. This is according to BBC and Deutsche Welle. Number 6, Regal owner reportedly planning to suspend movie theater operations. Cineworld, the owner of Regal, is reportedly planning to close its movie theaters across the United States, United Kingdom, and Ireland this week as studios continue to push back the release of major films like the upcoming James Bond installment, No Time to Die, because of the coronavirus pandemic. The plan isn't definite, the Wall Street Journal reports, but source says a final decision should be reached early this week. Cineworld, which is the second largest movie theater operator in both the world and the U.S., where it operates 546 sites and employs thousands, had begun reopening its venues earlier in the summer. But after a shaky box office performance from Christopher Nolan's blockbuster Tenet, studios are now leaning toward postponing their most expensive features until it's safer for audiences to return to theaters en masse. This is according to Reuters and the Wall Street Journal. Number 7, Graham debates Harrison amid close crucial Senate race. Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican South Carolina, debated his Democratic opponent, Jamie Harrison, on Saturday night for the first time as the two remain locked in a close contest just a month before Election Day. The competitors were combative at times, but they both portrayed themselves as willing to work with the other party to move legislation through Congress. Graham is seeking his 4th term representing the Palmetto State in the Senate, but Harrison appears to be mounting the toughest challenge against him yet. Polls have shown Graham's lead tightened significantly in recent weeks, to the point where Harrison is neck and neck with the incumbent. This is according to NBC News and 538. Number 8, Cam Newton reportedly tests positive for coronavirus. New England Patriots quarterback Cam Newton has tested positive for the coronavirus, ESPN reports. The Patriots announced Sunday that an unnamed player received a positive result, with league sources telling ESPN's Adam Schefter that it was Newton. New England also said, quote, several additional players, coaches, and staff who have been in close contact with the player received point-of-care tests, end quote, Saturday morning, and, quote, all were negative for COVID-19, end quote. Subsequent tests also returned negative Saturday night. Still, the Patriots game against the Kansas City Chiefs will be postponed until either Monday or Tuesday. Kansas City reportedly had a positive coronavirus test of its own. The Chiefs-Patriots matchup is the second NFL game scheduled for Sunday to get bumped. The Tennessee Titans have had several players and team personnel test positive throughout the week. Their game against the Pittsburgh Steelers is being moved to a later date. This is according to ESPN. Number 9, Swiss skydiver wins Preakness Stakes. Swiss skydiver on Saturday won the Preakness Stakes at Pimlico Race Course in Baltimore, Maryland, upsetting the favorite Authentic, who was fresh off a Kentucky Derby victory in a photo finish. She was the first filly to win the Preakness since Rachel Alexandra in 2009, and just the 6th ever. 3 different horses won each Triple Crown race this year, which saw 2 of the 3 events postponed because of the coronavirus pandemic. Swiss Skydiver took the Preakness, Authentic the Derby, and Tiz the Law won the Belmont Stakes before losing his bid for the crown with a second-place finish at Churchill Downs in September. This is according to ESPN. Number 10. SNL returns for 46th season. SNL Saturday Night Live returned for its 46th season on NBC on Saturday evening. The episode began with a parody of Tuesday evening's presidential debate between the incumbent President Trump, who was once again portrayed by Alec Baldwin, and his Democratic challenger, former Vice President Joe Biden, who was played by Jim Carrey. SNL alum Maya Rudolph also returned to the stage during the skit as Biden's running mate, Senator Kamala Harris, Democrat, California. Chris Rock hosted the premiere, with Megan Thee Stallion appearing as the musical guest. Later in the show, cast member Kate McKinnon portrayed the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who died in September, in a tribute sketch. This is according to the Washington Post. That's 10 things you need to know today for Sunday, October 4th, 2020. Thank you so much for listening. This has been What Makes You Smarter. Thanks for putting up with my stumbling. Now, if you'd like to tell your story or hear the stories of others, I want you to check out my other podcast, What Makes You Famous. Find it everywhere using the hashtag What Makes You Famous. Also, if you'd like to watch me stream some games, I've been doing that pretty frequently. Streaming online games, hashtag Keys Dan Gaming. Find me on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Gaming. Hashtag Keys Dan Gaming. And maybe you can make some suggestions. What games should I be playing? What are the best online streaming games to play? And what are you playing? And you want to play together? Let's do it. Oh, that's it for this edition of What Makes You Smarter. That's Keys Dan, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com.